Most people have heard that the calcium in milk helps people grow strong bones. Milk is also fortified with vitamin D, a chemical typically synthesized by the skin when people spend time in sunlight, but which can be hard to get from the diet as it is naturally found in only a few foods such as fatty fish, egg yolk, and beef liver. Vitamin D deficiency can cause ricket, a disease in which people develop bent and weakened bones and has also been tied to other problems such as muscle and nerve elements. And milk is a rich source of protein and calories, which is important for growing kids. Malnutrition is still a problem even among children in the developed world. Picky eaters may struggle to get enough proteins and calories in their diets, and milk is an easy nutrient-rich way to deliver those calories, said Dr. Jonathan Margue, a pediatrician at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto. According to Lanao, calcium can be found in many other food sources besides milk, including nuts, beans, and greens. And new research also raises questions about the notion that milk actually keeps bones strong. A 2013 study published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics found that children who live in countries with lower rates of milk consumption have lower fracture rates than those in milk drinking countries. In general, the notion that kids need very high level of calcium to keep their bones strong may be oversold, Lanao said. Several studies suggest that the impact made on the bones when kids exercise or do other physical activities is the main factor in bone growth. 3/4 of the world's population has lactose intolerance or cannot comfortably digest lactose, a sugar found in milk. Calcium can also inhibit the absorption of iron, which means drinking too much milk can lead to anemia. In December 2014, a study in the Archives of Diseases in Childhood found that preschoolers who drink 3 or more servings of milk a day are likelier to be taller, but also more obese and overweight. Whole or full fat milk has high levels of saturated fat, which has been tied to health problems. And some studies suggest low fat and skim milk may not be an answer because people feel less full after drinking it. Margue has found that children seem to have good iron stores and vitamin D levels at around 2 glasses a day, which is the current recommendation of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Now, to discuss this very, very important topic in the light of Indian conditions, whether is milk harmful for children or not, we have a very elite, knowledgeable, those who are expert in this field, panelists are with us. And I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and he is Dr. Narendra Gamawar. Dr. Gamawar is senior pediatrician practicing in Mumbai city and suburbs for over 40 years. He has a very high energy, which remains 24/7 around him due to his attitude of finding humor all around. His laughter is infectious, which is cherished and missed by colleagues in Medical College Jodhpur, where he passed out his MBBS and MD. He loves traveling extensively within an overseas. His patients get healed faster, and his infectious laughter has therapeutic effects. Welcome, Dr. Gamawar, on our show. Dr. Narendra Gamawar, I read a report, and in which it's both the side report says that the milk is harmful for the children, and it also mentioned the milk is good if it is taken in a moderate quantity. Now, all reports or researches are done in the other countries. But we in India would like to know your views and because you have so much experience, your views about is milk harmful for children. Dr. Narendra Gamawar, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Goel sir. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Lala. Thank you very much, Goel sir, for lovely introduction. And I never feel this topic itself, this topic shows whether milk is harmful to the children. Now, itself, it shows, it means they talk about negatives. They talk about this not good for children's health. Okay. And I am basically, I'm not in favor of milk because I myself never like it. And now, as health, what is health? Is a physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely absence of disease. Okay, so this milk, I'm so sure you are talking about this milk is not mother's milk. Okay, this is a top milk. Means apart from mother's milk, mother milk is always good. Whether mother, because this is a interaction between a child and mother, and nobody can question it, and one should not interfere in this equation. Now let's talk about top milk. Now top milk, as such, I mean, from very beginning, I don't think not a single species in the world take top milk. This is not think, I'm very sure, except human. Not a single species take top milk after mother's milk. And I feel that it means this is a species specific food. Like human is a mother's milk, cow's calf. So every animal they got own mother and own species specific milk. So it means a normal specific milk consumed by other uh, class of animal, it means is not appropriate. It has to be somewhere, some problem, or modified it fine. Perfectly all right. All depends upon how the requirements are. And human being, they are expert in modifying lot of things, socially, physically, mentally, everywhere. So let's talk about the milk. Why I don't like milk? Not I. I don't want my any child to take milk. I'm not. Why I don't like? Because to me, milk is not a good food. Like after mother's milk, you get a lot of weaning food is there. Milk is not a only weaning food because from very beginning it is been myth. You have to take so much of glass milk to take strength. Then why other species, animal, a horse, lion, elephant, nobody takes milk? It means we are following some own myths to have easy accessibility to some milk, and so a child has to suffer somewhere or other. Now let's talk about why I don't like milk. I've seen during my professional work, I used to give a lot of IV drips and overnight, so many kids of diarrhea, dehydration. And one thing was very common. Every child got bottle of milk. Everyone, the first thing is they are giving bottle milk. Means the milk in bottle because it's the easiest way to give. So again, the milk gets stale very fast. And cow's milk or buffalo's milk or any other milk, they got somewhere, because water boils at 100 degree, but milk boil at 95 degree. And pasteurization is a little less than 95 degree. So it means you boil the milk from different species. So this milk is not good. Like it cannot remove all the bacteria. Okay. So this, and once you put in a milk or weaning food as a substitute of normal food, then the chances of getting sick is very fast. Means the chances of getting bacteria, the chances of getting less nutrition, or the parents always feel, oh, the child is taking adequate food, because everybody got told think is milk is complete food, which is not. Out of 25 nutrients, milk is giving 18 nutrients. And these 18 nutrients you can get easily from different sources. So, this, to me, this milk is very nidus for getting any infection in a young child. Why? Because young child and old people, they are supposed to take more milk just for maintaining good health, which is a complete myth. And I'm so sure this this two age group, they got a lot of lactose intolerance, because this is natural lactose intolerance during this age group is around 25 to 30%. And milk is not good. And second thing, let us talk about nutrition value. I don't feel milk has got any nutrition value. And second thing, suppose you go with mythology, and Krishna is a very great Bhagwan, and he used to take only dahi ka matki or makhan. He never used to odify milky matki. So it means milk is something. And second thing, when the Hindus, like you go for good work, you never take milk and go. Or a doodh wala aa jaye, they'll come back home and they'll sit for 5-10 minutes and then go. It means the milk is somewhere some bad thing, which is auspicious. It's not auspicious. Like you put milk everywhere, no problem. But drinking or koi doodh wala aa jayega, so they'll come back home. Second, and most of the children, why I am anti-milk, because most of the kids, they never like milk. Because, but mothers and everybody, they feel, oh, child is supposed to take milk. And I'm so sure regarding food, we got normal instinct. Whatever you love, you take it. Like you never take stone, you never take shit, you never take altu faltu cheez. Because milk is, suppose you don't like milk, fine, don't take. Don't worry, perfectly all right. You can modify, you put curd, no problem, because whole property changes, probiotic and so many things, there's no problem. But a child is not liking milk, don't force. Otherwise, they are creating a lot of problem, and mother will get agitated. They got a lot of problem. They go around with the child with a glass of milk and a lot of problem. Let's say again, a child, we won't take other food, otherwise fine. If today you give one glass of milk, child won't take anything because his stomach is small. It get filled. So he won't get any nutrition value. So again, leave nutrition value. Your child never liked, so you are not supposed to give. And he is not supposed to take. Second thing. Now let us talk about no, because I don't like milk, so I go haywire. Either घूमता रहता है बहुत. Even my thinking also is even then I don't like milk. I never take, and rather anybody takes, I always say, oh, if you love, take it. If you're taking for health, don't take it, because anything you love, do it. You want daru, you love it, take it. But then you should not harm others. Okay. And second thing, milk. Why should a human being supposed to take cow's milk? They are for cow. Today, a normal cow won't milk unless they got a calf. So you put calf near milk and then you milk the cow and you take same milk. So it means that cows is under a lot of stress. So you are taking that stress, and every stress got lot of problem. So you are taking somebody's stress and you are putting. So again, now I'm not talking about very scientific thing, Lancet or WHO or this, that. But I'm just talking about how my own experiences. That's why I'm so anti-milk, means I don't like anybody to take milk unless he loves it. Or you can't force anybody to take milk, and milk is not a good food. This is harmless. Today, allergies. Milk allergy, oh, it's very common, and this is all hidden. Nobody knows, and everybody wants to overlook it. Then asthma, skin diseases, eczemas, allergic. There's a lot of things are there. Milk and call, because first thing, this is not a species. every species they got own milk. So human person is not supposed to take anybody different species of milk. I know it's very foolish.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr.
I take. Thank you very much for hearing
Thank you
this
very
one.
much, Dr. Narendra Gamawar, for giving your views. And Dr. Narendra Gamawar, with his laughing style, he has explained many things. First thing he says that no other species except human being are consuming the milk which is not being from the human, from others, the top milk, because we are not talking of the mother's milk. Mother milk is supposed to be the best in the world, but we are talking of the cow's milk or the other milk which the children are consuming. Although he says that, I don't know, but about cat, it is very famous that cat is always liking the milk. So whether cat also is on the top food or not, but yes, they all are on the mother's feed till the time they grew up. So, and he's mentioned that because if we are talking of the cow milk, the cow, whenever we are putting the calf near the cow, then we are taking out the milk. The cow is under tension, and that tension goes to the children and child, and which is harmful. And according to Dr. Gamawar, the children can develop asthma and many other diseases due to this type of milk which they are taking. So according to him, the milk should not be given to the children at all. Apart, the best milk is the breast mother's milk, and otherwise we have to give them the solid things, food, etc., etc. Thank you very much, Dr. Narendra Gamawar, for giving your opening remarks. Definitely, when I will come back to you, I will ask you more questions. Please keep your audio mute so that others will not be disturbed. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he is Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒. Dr. Tiwari is the senior consultant pediatrician at Saharanpur. He did his graduation from King George Medical College, Lucknow in 1977. He did MD Pediatrics from same college in 1980. His special interest is in child nutrition, child growth, vaccination, and parental health education. He held many positions in Indian Academy of Pediatrics, including as member IAP National Executive in 2000 and President IAP UP Chapter in 2009. Welcome, Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Tiwari on our show. Dr. Tiwari, you have heard the report which I read as well as what Dr. Narendra Gamawar has mentioned. Now, we would like to know your views, being a very senior consultant pediatrician. We would like to know your views on is milk harmful for children? Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Tiwari, please.
Thank you, Dr. Goel, Dr. Narendra, Dr. Shah, and Dr. Ruchira. Dr. Ruchira से मुलाकात है, एक्टिव मेंबर है IUP की. Unfortunately, मैं नोएडा कॉन्फ्रेंस अटेंड नहीं कर पाया फैमिली सर्कमस्टेंसेस की वजह, बट आई वाज बुक्ड देयर. पिछले 2 सालों में जो टॉपिक्स हमारे कोविड के चल रहे थे, उसको देख के लगता नहीं था कि जल्दी हम अपने बेसिक्स पे आएंगे, बट अच्छा है हम लोग आज न्यूट्रिशन डिस्कस कर रहे हैं और मिल्क डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. इसमें कोई शक ही नहीं है कि मदर्स मिल्क चूंकि बना है ह्यूमन इन्फेंट के लिए, न्यूबॉर्न के लिए, तो न केवल बेस्ट है, एडिक्वेट ग्रोथ देता है, इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग देता है, इन्फेक्शन के अगेंस्ट प्रोटेक्शन देता है, और ये भी माना जाता है कि कुछ हद तक शायद मैलिग्नेंसी के अगेंस्ट भी प्रोटेक्शन देता है. डॉक्टर गमावत ने भी कहा कि कोई भी स्पीशीज दूसरी स्पीशीज का दूध नहीं पीती. बात बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन दूसरी स्पीशीज में कोई मदर आईसीयू में भर्ती नहीं होती, कोई एडॉप्शन नहीं करता, कोई मदर एंटी डायबिटिक पे नहीं होती, कोई एंटी एपिलेप्टिक पे नहीं होती. ह्यूमंस में ऐसा है. तो सर्कमस्टेंसेस ऐसी आती है कि जब हमको ऊपर का दूध लेना पड़ता है, चाहे मदर भर्ती हो या मदर नहीं हो, चाहे मदर एंटी डायबिटिक्स पे हो, एंटी एपिलेप्टिक्स पे हो, मदर सीजर डिसऑर्डर में है या साइकियाट्रिक डिसऑर्डर में, बच्चे को हार्म हो सकता है फिजिकली, और अगर एडॉप्शन हमने किया है, तो हम केवल ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमको ऊपर का दूध नहीं लेना है. हमको समझना होगा कि दोनों के बीच में फर्क क्या है और ये फर्क कैसे इफेक्ट डालता है बच्चे के ऊपर, और हमको कैसे मिनिमाइज कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहले तो हम दोनों दूध के बारे में अलग अलग समझ लें. बेसिकली 5-6 फर्क है. एनिमल मिल्क के अंदर आयरन मात्रा में भी कम होता है और उसकी बायो अवेलेबिलिटी भी कम होती है. इसलिए ऊपर के दूध के साथ बच्चे को मिल्क में आयरन कम मिलता है. थोड़ा फर्क लिक्विड एनिमल मिल्क में हो सकता है फार्मूला के मुकाबले, लेकिन मैं उनको साथ ही लेके चलूंगा. तो टॉप मिल्क में आयरन कम है. नंबर 2 आता है प्रोटीन्स. प्रोटीन्स नेचुरली बच्चे के लिए ऑप्टिमम है मदर्स मिल्क में। हम ऊपर के दूध के प्रोटीन्स की बात करें तो कर्ड साइज थोड़ा ज्यादा होता है। एनिमल मिल्क में प्रोटीन ज्यादा होती है, डाइजेशन पे कर्ड साइज ज्यादा होता है, तो रिगर्जिटेशन की और वॉमिटिंग की संभावना ज्यादा होती है। एक और सिग्निफिकेंट फर्क पड़ता है प्रोटीन के ज्यादा होने से, उसको बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे क्योंकि थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स इशू है। नंबर 3 पे आते हैं फैट्स। फैट्स ह्यूमन बींग्स में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है फर्स्ट फ्यू मंथ्स में, क्योंकि ब्रेन का डेवलपमेंट बहुत फास्ट होता है और नर्वस सिस्टम की मैच्योरेशन बहुत फास्ट होती है। एनिमल्स में फिजिकल ग्रोथ ज्यादा होती है, तो एनिमल मिल्क के अंदर प्रोटीन ज्यादा है और ह्यूमन मिल्क के अंदर कंपेरेटिवली फैट्स ज्यादा है, वो भी अनसैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड ज्यादा, जिनका संबंध ब्रेन ग्रोथ से है। कार्बोहाइड्रेट की बात करें तो लैक्टोज दोनों में है, मगर एनिमल मिल्क में ज्यादा है। एक अच्छे बच्चे में इस बात से फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि एनिमल मिल्क में लैक्टोज ज्यादा है, लेकिन अगर डायरिया हो जाता है तो उसका फर्क पड़ता है, उसको हम बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे। केसीन, कैल्शियम और मिनरल लोड, ये तीनों ही एनिमल मिल्क में ज्यादा है मदर्स मिल्क के मुकाबले। कैल्शियम भी ज्यादा है, केसीन भी ज्यादा है और प्रोटीन्स और मिनरल लोड भी ज्यादा है, इनकी बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंस हो जाती है। और सबसे लास्ट में है और सबसे मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट जो है वो एंटी इन्फेक्टिव प्रॉपर्टीज है। मदर्स मिल्क में नेचुरली एंटीबॉडीज निकलती हैं, लाइव सेल्स निकलते हैं जो हमको इन्फेक्शन से रोकते हैं। वो चूंकि स्पीशीज स्पेसिफिक होते हैं तो वो टॉप मिल्क में भी होते हैं अगर पास्चराइज्ड है, अगर प्रोसेस्ड नहीं है तो, मगर वो उस स्पीशीज के लिए होते हैं। अब बात आती है कि इन फर्क से हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है। फर्क को समझने के लिए हमें थोड़ा जानना पड़ेगा कि फर्क अलग अलग उम्र पे अलग अलग है। पहले 6 महीने में अलग फर्क है, 6 से 12 महीने के बीच में फर्क अलग है, दूसरे साल में फर्क थोड़ा कम हो जाते हैं और उसके बाद फर्क थोड़ा और कम हो जाता है। जब हम टाइम फ्रेम को साथ लेके चलेंगे और ये 6 प्रॉपर्टी साथ लेके चलेंगे तब हम समझ पाएंगे कि फर्क कहां पड़ता है। सबसे पहले बात आती है इन्फेक्शन रेट की। पहले 6 महीने में बच्चे का अपना डिफेंस बड़ा कम होता है कंपेरेटिवली, और वो केवल मदर की डिफेंस से जुड़ा हुआ है। अगर माँ के दूध पे बच्चा है और उसको एंटीबॉडीज और लाइव सेल्स मिल रही है डिफेंस वाले, तो डेफिनेटली इन्फेक्शन रेट बहुत कम है। और अगर माँ के दूध पे बच्चा पार्टली या टोटली नहीं है तो एनिमल मिल्क में बाकी सब तो मिल जाएगा, लेकिन डिफेंस के केमिकल्स नहीं मिलेंगे, डिफेंस के सेल्स नहीं मिलेंगे और इन्फेक्शन रेट बहुत बढ़ जाएगा। सिकनेस बढ़ जाने से ग्रोथ में फर्क पड़ सकता है और बातों में फर्क पड़ सकता है। तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है एंटी इन्फेक्टिव प्रॉपर्टी, जिसके लिए हमें मदर्स मिल्क को कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हम मिनिमम 6 मंथ्स तक कम से कम टोटली मदर फीड पे रख सकें। उसके बाद की बात बाद में कर लेंगे। अगर प्रीमेच्योर बच्चे की बात करते हैं, जो बच्चा कम दिन पे हो गया है और सिकनेस के कारण या एक्सट्रीम प्रीमेच्योरिटी के कारण भर्ती है, तो ऐसा देखा गया है कि अगर उसको मदर्स मिल्क नहीं मिलता है तो आंत के फूलने की संभावना और फटने की संभावना, यानी नेक्रोटाइजिंग एंटेरोकोलाइटिस की संभावना बहुत ज्यादा होती है। तो बच्चा अगर प्रीमेच्योर है और एडमिटेड है तो डेफिनेटली मदर्स मिल्क बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और अगर किसी कारण से माँ का दूध नहीं मिल पा रहा है तो यहाँ पे मिल्क बैंकिंग का प्रोविजन सामने आता है। हम न केवल मदर मिल्क दे सकते हैं, हम दूसरी मदर का मिल्क भी दे सकते हैं। यहाँ पे बात मदर्स मिल्क की नहीं है, ह्यूमन मिल्क की बात। प्रीमेच्योर बच्चा अगर है, हॉस्पिटलाइज बच्चा अगर है स्पेशली, तो उसको ह्यूमन मिल्क की रिक्वायरमेंट है। नहीं तो एंक्रोटाइजिंग नेक्रोटाइटिस जो होती है, जिसमें हाथ फट जाती है, उसकी सिग्निफिकेंस रेट बढ़ जाती है और डेथ रेट बहुत ज्यादा हो जाती है। बात आती है रिगर्जिटेशन और वॉमिटिंग की। क्योंकि हमने अभी बात करी कि प्रोटीन साइज ज्यादा होता है तो कर्ड ज्यादा बनता है साइज में, तो उससे रिगर्जिटेशन और वॉमिटिंग भी ज्यादा हो सकता है। बात आती है डायरिया के अंदर। इन्फेक्टिविटी चूंकि ज्यादा है ऊपर के दूध के साथ, डिफेंस केमिकल्स कम है, तो बच्चा ज्यादा इन्फेक्टिव रहता है, दस्त ज्यादा हो जाते हैं। तो इन्फेक्शन रेट ज्यादा होने के साथ हमें न केवल जीआईटी इन्फेक्शन बढ़ते हैं, ओटाइटिस मीडिया बढ़ जाता है, हियरिंग के इश्यूज आ सकते हैं, निमोनिया ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग सिचुएशन में बच्चा जा सकता है। तो ये तीनों बातें हो सकती है। इन्फेक्शन बढ़ने के साथ इन्फेक्शन बढ़ जाते हैं हमारे एंटीबॉडीज न होने से, जीआईटी इन्फेक्शन से, ईयर इन्फेक्शन से और लंग इन्फेक्शन से, और ये कहीं कभी बढ़ सकता है। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात आती है छोटे बच्चे में, प्रोटीन ज्यादा होने से और मिनरल ज्यादा होने से एक बड़ा सीरियस इशू आ जाता है। ह्यूमन बॉडी में कैपेसिटी है कि अगर पानी किसी वक्त कम है बॉडी में, तो बॉडी अपने यूरिन को कंसंट्रेट कर देता है, वो पानी को रोक लेता है और मिनरल्स को या वेस्ट मटेरियल को निकाल देता है। पहले 4, 5, 6 महीने में क्या होता है कि जो छोटे बच्चे हैं वो यूरिन को कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाते। प्रोटीन ज्यादा है, प्रोटीन के बाई प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा निकलेंगे, मिनरल लोड ज्यादा है, मिनरल ज्यादा निकलेंगे, तो मदर्स मिल्क के मुकाबले टॉप मिल्क के बच्चे को ज्यादा यूरिन पास करना पड़ता है। प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आती है? बच्चा सिक हो गया, इनटेक कम हो गई, या बच्चा डायरिया में है, तो उस वक्त पानी का लॉस ज्यादा है, तो पानी कंजर्व करना पड़ता है, लेकिन पानी कंजर्व हो नहीं पाता क्योंकि उसको ज्यादा अमाउंट में यूरिन निकालना पड़ता है। कॉमनली मदर्स और कॉमनली डॉक्टर्स और पीडियाट्रिशियंस भी कई बार यूरिन के अमाउंट से अंदाज लगाने की कोशिश करते हैं कि बच्चा डिहाइड्रेशन में तो नहीं। अगर बच्चा डायरिया में अच्छी मात्रा में यूरिन पास कर रहा है तो हम मान लेते हैं कि उसके अंदर डिहाइड्रेशन नहीं है, लेकिन छोटी एज में ऐसा नहीं है। ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि बच्चा डिहाइड्रेशन में हो और यूरिन बढ़िया पास कर रहा हो, क्योंकि जरूरत के हिसाब से अपने यूरिन को कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाता, प्रोटीन ज्यादा होने से टॉप मिल्क में और मिनरल ज्यादा होने से टॉप मिल्क में, और साथ में ये एसोसिएशन होने से कि उसके अंदर यूरिन को कंसंट्रेट करने की कैपेसिटी कम है, वो बढ़िया मात्रा में यूरिन पास करता रहेगा और डिहाइड्रेट हो जाएगा। ये सबसे गंभीर इशू जो हमको देखना होता है। बात आती है काउज मिल्क एलर्जी की। काउज मिल्क प्रोटीन एलर्जी जो है सिग्निफिकेंट इशू। इस इशू के कारण से कई सिम्टम होते हैं बच्चों में, जैसे स्किन रिएक्शंस हैं, डाइजेस्टिव डिस्टर्बेंसेस हैं, सिम्टम लाइक फीवर लाइक सिम्टम्स हो जाते हैं, इजी नोज है और नेजल डिस्चार्जेस वगैरह है। इसके अलावा सबसे कॉमन जो प्रॉब्लम आती है वो एनीमिया की आती है। एनीमिया के पीछे 3 कारण जिम्मेदार होते हैं। सबसे पहला तो ये कि टॉप मिल्क के अंदर आयरन कम है, और जो कम है उसकी बायो अवेलेबिलिटी भी कम है, तो कुल मिला के ऊपर के दूध पे हमें आयरन कम मिलता है। दूसरी बात आती है हाई प्रेजेंस ऑफ केसीन और कैल्शियम की। जो आयरन मौजूद है ऊपर के दूध में वो बॉडी में एब्जॉर्ब नहीं होता। और तीसरा सबसे बड़ा सिग्निफिकेंट जो इशू है वो ये कि पहले कुछ महीनों में ऊपर के दूध से जीआईटी में एक माइल्ड ग्रेड का इन्फ्लेमेशन चल सकता है, जिससे बच्चा कम अमाउंट में ब्लड लॉस करता है। इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस पहले 6 महीने में बहुत ज्यादा है, बाद के 6 महीने में कम हो जाती है, और उसके बाद तो लगभग खत्म हो जाती है। तो पहले कुछ महीनों में आयरन कम होने से, आयरन कम एब्जॉर्ब होने से और ब्लड का लॉस होने से एनीमिया हो सकता है। तो कुल मिला के बात हो गई, रिवाइज कर लेते हैं। इन्फेक्शन ज्यादा होना, प्रीमेच्योरिटी में नेक्रोटाइजिंग एंट्रोकोलाइटिस ज्यादा होना, एनीमिया ज्यादा होना 6 मंथ तक और ज्यादा, उसके बाद थोड़ा कम, रिगस्टेशन वॉमिटिंग हो जाना, डायरिया ज्यादा होना, डिफिकल्ट टू कंट्रोल होना, और डिहाइड्रेशन होने के बावजूद भी यूरिन अच्छी मात्रा में पास करता रहना। इसके अलावा मिल्क प्रोटीन एलर्जीज है। कुछ बातें और हैं जो मानी जाती हैं, कुछ लोग मानते हैं कुछ नहीं मानते, लेकिन काफी एसोसिएशंस और ट्रायल्स में ऐसा देखा गया है कि जो बच्चे ऊपर के दूध में होते हैं, ऊपर के दूध पे होते हैं, उनमें चाइल्डहुड ओबेसिटी भी ज्यादा होती है, डायबिटीज की इंसिडेंस भी ज्यादा होती है, और काफी ट्रायल्स ये शो करते हैं कि अगर बच्चा टोटली टॉप मिल्क पे है सिग्निफिकेंट टाइम तक, तो अल्टीमेटली लाइफ में ल्यूकीमियाज और लिम्फोमास की इंसिडेंस भी बढ़ जाती है, मैलिग्नेंसी भी ज्यादा होती है। तो फिर बात यह आती है कि हम करें क्या। हमें दूध नहीं भी देना चाहिए और हमको दूध देना भी पड़ जाता है। उसके लिए बड़ी सिंपल गाइडलाइंस है, मैं समराइज कर देता हूं 2 लाइन में। 6 महीना तक कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हमको माँ के दूध पे ही रखें और किसी भी तरह से ऊपर का दूध न दें। उसके लिए मदर को जितना मोटिवेट करें, एजुकेट करें, उसकी समस्याओं को समझें, अगर वो वर्किंग है तो उसको समझें, विदाउट पे छुट्टी मिलती है कि नहीं मिलती है, कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए। पहला टारगेट ये होना चाहिए कि 6 मंथ तक हम ऊपर का दूध न लगने। 6 मंथ के बाद प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी कम हो जाती है, लेकिन 6 मंथ के बाद ह्यूमन जो इशू है, इन्फेंट है, न्यूबॉर्न है, उसकी दूध की रिक्वायरमेंट भी कम हो जाती है और वो खाना ले सकता है। तो कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए कि 6 महीने के बाद बच्चा अगर माँ के दूध पे है तब भी हम मदर फीड को दिन में थोड़ा थोड़ा कम करना शुरू कर दें। मगर अपने देश में प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि माँ का दूध कम होने का मतलब ऊपर का दूध देना है, नहीं, माँ का दूध कम होने का मतलब हमें खाना देना। ये खाना दूध का बना भी हो सकता है और बिना दूध का बना भी हो सकता है, सब्जी रोटी दाल भी हो सकती है और खीर दही दलिया भी हो सकता है। तो 6 मंथ तक केवल मदर का फीड रखें, संभव हो सके तो। अगर संभव नहीं है, वही 5-6 कंडीशन, माँ नहीं है, भर्ती है, अडॉप्शन है, तो हमें परमिट करना पड़ेगा। उस केस में अगर फाइनेंसिस परमिट करते हैं तो हम फॉर्मूला मिल्क अलाउ करते हैं, क्योंकि डेफिनेटली लिक्विड मिल्क से थोड़ा बेहतर पड़ता है, मगर कॉस्ट 6 टाइम ज्यादा होती है उसकी। तो अगर फैमिली अफोर्ड कर सकती है तो फॉर्मूला मिल्क परमिट करिए, नहीं अफोर्ड कर सकती है तो लिक्विड परमिट करिए। उसके बाद जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं एनीमिया की, उनको डील करिए, आयरन दीजिए। 6 to 12 मंथ से हमें सेमी सॉलिड बढ़ाना होता है और दूध कम करना होता है। अगर हम माँ के दूध पे हैं तो स्लोली कम करेंगे, डे में रात को जितना मर्जी पिला लें। अगर हम टॉप मिल्क पे हैं तो रैपिडली कम करेंगे और सेमी सॉलिड्स पे ज्यादा ले आएंगे। 12 मंथ्स के बाद ये प्रॉब्लम्स कम हो जाए। अगर प्रोटीन मिल्क एलर्जी भी है तो भी बहुत कम हो जाती है, रफली 0.5% रह जाती है। और जो ब्लड लॉस की बात है जीआईटी से, वो प्रैक्टिकली खत्म हो जाता है। तो 2 साल के बाद, चूंकि माँ का दूध भी बहुत कम हो जाता है और काफी लोग दिन में बंद करना चाहते हैं, मदर वर्किंग है, तो हम इस बात को परमिट कर सकते हैं कि दिन में हम ऊपर का माँ का दूध बंद कर दें और लिक्विड मिल्क हम शुरू कर सकते हैं। उसमें भी प्रेफर्ड तो यही है कि हम दूध का बना सेमी सॉलिड ले लें। खीर है, दही है, दलिया है, जैसे डॉक्टर गोयल ने बताया दही है, तो बेहतर है। लेकिन अगर लिक्विड मिले तो चलेगा। लेकिन उसके साथ एक जुड़ा हुआ है कंडीशन, वो ये कि टोटली दिन में 2 बार से ज्यादा न दे और लगभग 400 ml से ज्यादा न दे। क्योंकि दूध बेसिकली चाहे माँ का हो चाहे ऊपर का हो, 6 मंथ्स के बाद और 12 मंथ्स के बाद तो बहुत ज्यादा एक पुअर एनर्जी डेंसिटी का फूड है, या कह दिए फूड मटेरियल। दूध में उतनी डेंसिटी नहीं होती, चाहे माँ का हो चाहे ऊपर का हो, कि वो 1 साल के बाद बच्चे की ग्रोथ को सस्टेन कर सके। तो अगर हमें ऊपर का दूध देना भी है तो 2 बार से ज्यादा नहीं देंगे और प्रेफर्ड है कि दूध का बना खाना। और 2 साल के बाद ये सब समस्या लगभग खत्म हो जाती है, बच्चे की ग्रोथ बहुत अच्छी हो जाती है। आप ऐसे समझ लीजिए कि बच्चे की जो एडल्ट हाइट होती है उसका 50% 2 साल तक आ जाता है। तो रैपिड ग्रोथ का टाइम निकल जाता है, ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट का ऑलमोस्ट फुल टाइम निकल जाता है। तो उसके बाद अगर दूध कोई लेता भी है तो हमें कोई इशू नहीं है। प्रेफर्ड है कि खाने की शक्ल में ले, अगर पीने की शक्ल में ले तो 2 बार से ज्यादा नहीं। अब बात आती है उन स्पेसिफिक प्रॉब्लम्स की कि साहब कुछ को दूध पसंद है, कुछ को नहीं पसंद है, क्या करें। देखिए, लैक्टेज एक ऐसा एंजाइम है जो दूध को डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए बना है। और इंसान का बेसिकली, डॉक्टर गोयल गवावर तो सही कहा कि ह्यूमन रेस ने जो एनिमल मिल्क पीना शुरू किया है, इसकी हिस्ट्री 5 से 10 हजार साल की। ह्यूमन इवोल्यूशन बहुत छोटा समय है, किसी भी उससे पहले एनिमल मिल्क नहीं पीते थे हम। तो लैक्टेज कुछ पॉपुलेशंस में तो लाइफ लॉन्ग परसिस्ट करता है, जिससे हम दूध की शुगर डाइजेस्ट करते हैं। मेजॉरिटी लोगों में ये परसिस्ट नहीं करता। कुछ लोगों में एक बार अगर दूध पीना छोड़ दें तो दोबारा लाइफ में लैक्टेज नहीं बनता। कुछ लोगों में अगर छोड़ दें तो खत्म हो जाता है, लेकिन दोबारा पीने लगे तो बन जाता है। अभी भी वर्ल्ड की मेजॉरिटी स्पीशीज जो है या ह्यूमन रेस के मेजॉरिटी लोग हैं, वो ह्यूमन मिल्क को अच्छी तरह डाइजेस्ट नहीं करते। तो जो व्यक्ति कर पाते हैं, करना चाहते हैं, वो ले सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। जो नहीं कर सकते, नहीं करना चाहते, उन्हें कोई दिक्कत नहीं। तो एनिमल मिल्क ह्यूमन रेस के लिए जरूरी नहीं है। 2 साल के बाद प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं करती मेजॉरिटी केसेस में, अगर आप लैक्टोज अपना मेंटेन कर पा रहे हैं तो। मगर एक लिमिट से ज्यादा अमाउंट में आप लेंगे तो डेफिनेटली, चूंकि एनर्जी डेंसिटी कम है तो ओबेसिटी तो बढ़ जाएगी, लेकिन एनीमिया हो सकता है, क्योंकि आपके अंदर आयरन कम पहुंचे तो एनीमिया की संभावना बढ़ जाती है, ओबेसिटी की बढ़ जाती है। तो मिल्क लिया जा सकता है कम मात्रा में या सेमी सॉलिड मात्रा। इसके अलावा और कोई खास बातें नहीं है। तो समरी निकल के ये आती है कि जहां तक हो सके 6 महीने से पहले ना दें। मजबूरी है, फाइनेंशियली संभव है तो फॉर्मूला दें, नहीं संभव है तो लिक्विड दें। आयरन का ध्यान रखें। फूड टॉप मिल्क पाउडर की और मिल्क की हैंडलिंग का ध्यान रखें। बॉटल की हाइजीन का ध्यान रखें। अगर देते हैं तो, न दे तो बहुत अच्छी बात, क्योंकि कुछ प्रॉब्लम ऊपर के दूध से है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम उसकी हैंडलिंग से, और जो चीजें उसके अंदर कम है उनको हम सप्लीमेंट करें। बच्चे की ग्रोथ पे निगाह रखें, उसके हीमोग्लोबिन पे निगाह रखें, उसके सिम्टम्स पे निगाह रखें कि एलर्जिक तो नहीं है। तो ऐसा नहीं कि हमें दूध लेना चाहिए कि नहीं, हाँ हमको दूध कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हम पहले 6 महीने में ना लें और हो सके तो पहले साल में भी ना लें। उसके बाद कोई खास बात नहीं है। प्रॉपर ढंग से लें, प्रॉपर अमाउंट में लें, प्रॉपर सफाई के साथ लें, एक्सेसिव नहीं। तो मेरे ख्याल से डायरेक्टली ये कहना कि नहीं लेना, ये लेना ठीक नहीं है। हमको नहीं लेने की कोशिश करनी है पहले साल में, बट अगर लेना है तो कैसे लेना है हमको मालूम। मेरे ख्याल से ये इश्यूज कॉमन है, बाकी डिस्कशन में देखेंगे हम लोग।
Thank you very much, Dr. Tiwari, for giving your views. And Dr. Tiwari says that first 6 months is totally no. Exceptions are there when the mother is no more or some problems with the mother. So in that case also, one has to be very, very careful. And according to him, if family can afford, then the formula to be given. Otherwise, if we have to give the top milk, we have to be very, very careful for the hygiene as well as what quantity we have to give. And according to him, even if after 2 years there is no big problem, but always in a moderate quantity one has to give. We should not think that because of the milk one can grow faster. And so he says advantages and disadvantages are there. Basically, advantages are very less, disadvantages are there. So one has to be very, very careful when giving the milk. So thank you very much, Dr. Tiwari. And when next round I will come, I will ask some questions to you because what the myths are there or what is our own experience of the earlier years. We would like to clarify that also. So thank you very much, Dr. Tiwari. I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Dr. Ruchira Gupta. Dr. Ruchira Gupta is MD, PG, DPN, Boston, FIAP. She is the Senior Consultant, Kailash Hospital and Heart Institute, Noida. She was the Secretary of Academics of Pediatrics, UP in 2015-16. She was Central Journal Coordinator of Indian Academy of Pediatrics Women Wing in 2015-16. She was the President of Academy of Pediatrics Noida in 2009-10. She was the Secretary of AOP Noida 2008. She is the Chief Editor Child Today, an official journal of Indian Academy of Pediatrics UP. She is the Technical Editor and Contributor IAP WW Parenting Model 2020. She is the Chief Organizing Secretary Padicon 21-22. She was the Executive Board Member Central IAP in 2014, 2019 and now also in 2020. She is the National Trainer of various IAP programs like Neonatal Resuscitation Program, Basic Life Support Program, Safe Injection Practice, Handling Pediatric Emergencies and Office Practices, Appropriate Pediatric Septics, Clinical Clues, Mini Respiration, Tuberculosis Elimination Program, and many more. She is the core committee member of IAP module on non-communicable and NCD. Welcome, Dr. Ruchira Gupta on our show. Dr. Gupta, you have heard what Dr. Gamawar as well as Dr. Tiwari has mentioned. Now, we would like to know your views on this. Is milk harmful for children? But before that, can you just put your mobile in a horizontal position? Are you on mobile? So you just turn on the horizontal position like this. Is it a mobile phone you are using?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes. Now it's fine. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. So, good morning, all the panelists. Good morning, Mr. Lal. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to share or discuss on this very particular and pertinent topic, whether to take or not to take milk, whether it is good or harmful for the children. And my co-panelist, Dr. D.K. Tiwari, sir, a senior member of Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Uttar Pradesh. She's already put his views, and Dr. Gamawar, sir, has put his views against it. So, see, coming to the point, first of all, let us understand what is the basic physiology of human being. So details about the human milk characters, what does it contain, what are the advantages and not advantages, disadvantages, everything has been discussed by Dr. Gamawar as well as Dr. D.K. Tiwari, sir. One thing goes beyond doubt that every child, every infant born should be exclusively breastfed till first 6 months of age, followed by supplemental or complementary feeding till 2 years of age. This is a set thing which is there. Now, this question which is arising, why this question is arising? Why it is so that we are discussing today that should milk be given or not? What I feel that there has been the reason. If we look at the physiology of this individual, the human being, the lactase enzyme, which Dr. D.K. Tiwari sir had already mentioned about it. You know, when the newborns are after the birth, the quantity of lactase enzyme is the maximum. And after that, as the child grows, the lactase enzyme quantity keep on decreasing, and it almost become negligible as one enter into adulthood. Now, so if we look at the physiology wise, the milk contain lactose, casein, all these kinds of things. Now, the moment the child is transitioning from childhood or individual or human individual is transitioning from the infancy till the adulthood. So this lactase enzyme deficiency is getting common, or because this is a natural physiology. Until unless, as Dr. Tiwari said, the person keep on consuming cow's milk or animal milk, then that or consuming any kind of milk, then lactase enzyme keep on producing. In some individual, it may be produced in insufficient amount. In some individual, may not. So it varies from individual to individual. So there is a risk of lactose intolerance and this bloating kind of thing, which a lot of individuals feel.
Please unmute.
And we're going on to the point where we are discussing whether to give it or not. See, if you look at me, if you ask me, I don't like milk at all. Not at all. But if we look at why do we require milk? What is the need of the milk? One, I talked about the physiology. Second is the requirement of the individual. We require protein for growth. We require calcium for growth. Right? These two things are important. And definitely iron is not a good source for, milk is not a good source for iron. So calcium, protein, and in the young individuals, the fat. If you are able to provide alternate source for protein and calcium in the sufficient quantity which is required for the child's growth, then okay, I'm okay with it. But we have to understand, because top milk is ultimately another species milk. See, the milk is very much a species specific. So cow's milk is for calf, human milk is for human newborn. That I agree with it. But when the child is growing, for the growing years, see, calcium is not only required for bones, calcium is required for multiple physiological actions which are happening in the body. If you talk about heart, if you talk about brain, if you talk about muscles, everywhere calcium is required. The proteins are required for building up, for total repair and the building up of the cells. So if you are able to ensure that the sufficient quantity, the requisite quantities of calcium and protein and the fat, that can be provided through alternate source, I have no issues about it. First 2 years, I will not discuss, because that goes beyond this discussion, because this goes without this thing, and that's preferably human milk, and the exceptions to human milk that Dr. Tiwari has already mentioned, so I'm not going to repeat that. So here the point comes is whether to use it or not. If we look at the recommendations, see why people are using milk, because it is easily available. Then there are myths associated with it. So what I recommend, as Dr. Tiwari said, a child beyond 2 years of age can consume 2 cups of milk morning and evening. That is approximately 400 ml of milk. Because first 5 years, the growth is maximum. And till first 5 years, also, if we are giving some animal milk, then it has to be full fat milk. Skimmed milk are not to be given, because we require fat content along with it. The maximum problem comes when there is too much of consumption of human milk, as it is less energy dense. Children tend to consume more and become obese. Now this milk, too much of consumption is, a lot of children, a lot of parents or mothers, they come to me and bring their child and they say, ma'am, mere bachche ka weight is very good, but then child is not active, the child has got this problem, 100 issues the child is having, but the child is obese, the weight is good. So I always tell them that a child's quantity-wise, your child is good. But if you look at quality, then it is compromised. Because milk is not going to provide all the requisites, minerals, vitamins, fibers, all these things which are required for the human body. Now, another problem which we are seeing in patients day and night. One is obesity, another is constipation. This all is happening because of excessive milk production, milk consumption, and less of fibrous food intake. And that is why this myth has to be broken. Too much of milk? No, no, no. A big no. I always tell this, and another problem is with the bottle feeding. So I always tell this to the parents. I always tell, our human body, हमारी body जो है ना, उसके लिए हर चीज compensatory है, and nature ने उसको perfect बनाया है. So we should respect nature. जब तक बच्चे के दांत नहीं आते हैं, that is first 6 months, the child is able to suck. The infant, he is able to suck only. Till then, milk alone is required. The moment teeth start erupting and the child has got full dentition, why does child require sucking or anything? Now the body is asking for chewing, the food which needs chewing, so as to provide minerals, vitamins, and so many other things. So here, what I mean to say is, see, milk, yes, because it is a readily available source for providing calcium, for providing fat, for providing proteins for the growing children. So in a moderate quantity, as per the recommendation by different bodies, we recommend it. But that should not replace the meals. That should not replace the fiber and minerals and vitamins, and that all cereals, grains, vegetables, and fruits. If one is able to provide alternate sources, see, there is a vegan group. Those people who do not consume milk at all, milk or milk products, how do they survive? It's not like this that their immunity is compromised. It's not like that they are not growing well. It's not like that the IQ is getting deprived. It is because if they are getting requisite quantity of proteins, fats, minerals, and all that from the alternate sources, then it's okay. For example, soy protein, etc., etc. But the soy protein is not good for the infants due to obvious reasons. There are obvious reasons. Why don't we recommend it? So I myself had not consumed milk for so many, I don't remember since when. But it's not like that I didn't grow well, or it's not like this that I had my lower IQ or something, but I'm sure that I must have done breastfeeding in the initial part. So I do understand purely one way I agree with Dr. Himawat that if you like it, drink it. If you don't like it, don't drink it, but find out the another dietary source where you can consume adequate quantity of proteins, fats, minerals, and iron, and all those kinds of things. And I do agree with Dr. Tiwari as well that if somebody is consuming milk, you like milk, or if you don't find, or if you don't have a capacity to understand that kind of food requisite, because not everybody is that much well versed or that knowledgeable, or doesn't have time to find out the components of each food item. It's not that very simple. It's very easier said than done. So for them, then milk is a readily available source, though it has got its own disadvantages that Dr. Tiwari had already mentioned. That there can be microscopic gut bleeding, there can be risk of allergies. And nowadays, I agree with Dr. Himawat here, we keep on seeing many children with animal milk protein allergy. We are seeing these children and they really have tough time. And these are the children which, if they are not being given cure or given right kind of advices right in the beginning, then they enter into allergic march. And this allergic march ultimately leads them to bronchial asthma, childhood asthma, and all that kind of stuff. So these things are definitely there. So here I will like to say, if you like it, go ahead. This I'm talking about beyond 2 years. At least 5 years, I recommend that, yes, one should take milk because it's a readily available source of protein and basically calcium, readily available. See, this concept has also come from the fact that the countries which produce milk, their milk consumption is also high. If you talk about India is the largest country, is the country with largest milk production and leading exporter for milk also. If you talk about Sweden, the Nordic countries, all these ones, and the Switzerland, all, you will find those countries, their milk suggestion or milk advices are, starting even at 10 months of age. They recommend if you want to give animal milk, you can give it. In case if one is not able to, get this formula milk. Now, so these kinds of things also depend what kind of milk production country is having, what kind of your body milieu is this, because cultural practices, they develop as per the local availability of products. Let me tell you this thing. And our body milieu also keep on changing. See, if our generations are taking milk right from the beginning, then subsequently what is happening, since we are getting introduction to this top milk, or rather animal milk, so we are getting this lactase enzyme produced in our body and we are able to tolerate it. But some people may not develop lactase enzyme, so they may get intolerance to milk, and then these bloating issues and all those kinds of things happen. So in nutshell, I would like to say, first 2 years, breastfeeding, first 6 months, exclusive breastfeeding, 6 months to 2 years, complementary feeding in terms of grains, grains, vegetables, fruits, and pulses, along with breast milk, if available. 2 years onwards, look at the availability. If parents are so much well versed that they can identify the constituent or the caloric content and everything of each food item, then if they can ensure that they are providing adequate amount of protein, adequate amount of calcium, fat, calories to the child through different food items, they can use them. Else, the milk is a readily available source where these things are available in sort of, I won't say appropriate, but then also near appropriate sort of thing. So 2 to 5 years, again, if you're using animal milk, it has to be full fat milk. Do not give skimmed milk, because child requires fat also for growth. So this is it. 5 year onwards, again, it's again the same philosophy applies. So my thing is the availability, the parents' intelligence, the parents, what should I say? The parents also should have time to, ponder on to these issues to make the things available. If they are not with the requisite proteins, calcium sources, if they are not opting for animal milk. Okay. So, it has to be a balanced approach. It has to be a balanced approach, because now these things are coming up every day and night. So, but yes, during growing years, the readily available thing one can easily use. So I feel that is why milk is being used. This is what I would like to say.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruchira Gupta, for giving your views. And what Dr. Gupta says, she says that it all depends up to 6 months, totally breastfeeding. She recommends until
the readily availability of the thing. ऐसा ना हो कि हम एक तरफ ये भी एक मैसेज दे दें और दूसरी तरफ पेरेंट्स सही तरीके का फूड भी ना देख पाए और बच्चे की ग्रोथ कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाए, because first 5 years तक बच्चे की ग्रोथ होती है, but beyond 5 years, again, since again I'm telling you, readily available food or milk or any item of nutrition source is to be identified. And since milk is readily available in our country, that is why it's being used. So I'm not saying do not consume animal milk, but you think before consuming it. If you can provide alternate sources beyond 5 years, your child, there be some reason. If somebody is not liking, there has to be some reason behind it. And if your child is liking it, give that milk and then supplement the child with proper nutrients. See, one should not think, I really want to convey this message, one should not think that this milk is a complete food. This is what I get the notion from a lot of mothers, that milk is a complete food. No. First 6 months, yes, it is a complete food for the baby, looking at the digestion and all that. But beyond 6 months, It is not a complete food. To get my message very clear that please do not mention this, that I am saying no to human milk, or sorry, animal milk. So it is again, very, 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 very pertinent for people to understand. If you have readily available source of protein and calcium and fat as a milk, then use it.
Okay.
If you can provide alternate, use other things.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruchira Gupta, for clarifying this. Thank you very much. Paucity of time, so I would like to move to my next and the last but not the least panelist, and she is Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒. Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 is the pediatrician and lactation consultant at Mumbai. She is passionate about babies and tries to make journey of every mother a happy one. She helps mother achieve their breastfeeding goals. Being a gold medalist and university topper, all through, she believes in making a change and did create that when she became one of the first few lactation consultants in Mumbai and created a post for same in prestigious Hinduja Hospital. She is an international faculty for training paramedics, staffs and mothers. She has done numerous workshops with BPNI, Maharashtra and UNICEF in interiors of India to promote, protect and support breastfeeding. She has helped more than 5,000 mothers to achieve to do breast crawl and successful in initiation within first hour of birth. She is pioneering in inducing lactation and has helped more than 100 women feed who have developed through surrogate and achieved milestones of successful breastfeeding. Welcome, Dr. Shah, on our show. Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Shah, you have heard what our earlier panelists, Dr. Gamawar, Dr. Tiwari, as well as Dr. Gupta has mentioned. They have given their views as far as the milk is concerned, the top milk we are talking, when to be introduced, what are the advantages, rather disadvantages, and if we have to give, what precautions one has to take. Now, you being a lactation consultant and your main emphasis on breastfeeding, but there are many mothers who cannot give the breastfeeding for many reasons. Mother is no more or whatnot. So we would like to know your views on, is milk harmful for children? Dr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Shah, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lal. Very good morning to everybody. Since all my senior panelists have already spoken so much about the milk, I would not like to repeat it, but I would like to speak my views on how things should be. Now, being a lactation consultant, obviously, I promote only breastfeeding. Human milk, mother's milk is the best for the baby. It creates a base for your baby and the baby's immunity, baby's intelligence, baby's growth. So as ma'am said very correctly, that first 6 months you need exclusive breastfeeding. So I think everybody who's listening to me, I think this is the most important message, that first 6 months only mothers feed. Now, most of the mothers, especially in an urban setup like Mumbai where I am, okay, they are kind of given up. They think that they don't have milk, or they are working, or they probably, don't want to make an effort to increase milk. So let me tell you, with lot of counseling, and use of breast pumps, any mother and some medications and 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 and obviously counseling can produce enough amount of milk. In fact, sir mentioned about surrogacy. I make mothers who are not pregnant also make milk. So my specialty is to make mothers make milk. So I will request all of you that take guidance from whosoever is available in your area and see to it that the first 6 months only mother's milk is given to the baby. Now, if mother's milk is not available because of any unforeseen circumstances, like probably the mother is having some disease or cancer, or probably, some medical conditions where she cannot breastfeed, there are a lot of options of human milk banking available. Now we are having so many milk banks all over India, which give milk to the babies who actually need it. And there was this very, very old concept of wet nursing. What is wet nursing? That any mother used to pick up any baby and just breastfeed. So I think this is where we should go back to our roots. In some things we are, completely disconnected from our roots. Mother's milk is the most sterile. So any mother who has milk can express, and that can be given to another baby. So I think this concept we need to focus on, where rather than going to any other milk, okay, it is better that first is we get expressed breast milk from any other mother. And that really, really helps in the mother, in that baby to have good growth. Now, if that is also not possible, you should take formula milk. But as Tiwari sir said, that financial constraint can be a problem and probably everybody cannot afford it. And that is why they go to give animal milk. The problem of giving animal milk in the first 6 months is although they have lactase enzymes to digest it, but the problem is that in our rural environment and most of the small cities, people dilute it. वो गाय के दूध में पानी डाल के दे देते हैं, and that is why the nutrition of the baby is getting affected. So you're actually giving water to the baby rather than giving anything else. Now, animal milk per se is meant for animals. गाय के बछड़े का वजन कितना होता है? गाय के या भैंस के बछड़े का वजन होता है 100 किलो, 200 किलो, 200 किलो. हम हमारे बच्चे को ये दूध देते हैं. So you need to understand that there is a lot of discrepancy. We think कि dilute करने से problem solve हो जाता है, but dilute करने से problem solve नहीं होता है. So animal milk should be the last resort to be given to a baby who is less than 6 months old. I mean, that is what my personal opinion is, and I tell patients, please don't give. अगर मैं किसी को गाय का मना करती हूँ, वो भैंस पे जाते हैं, भैंस का मना करती हूँ, वो बकरी पे जाते हैं. So there is no animal milk. And the WHO recommendation is that no animal milk to be given to the children till 2 years of age. पहले 1 year था, now it is 2 years of age because of the digestion issues. Now here I would like to talk a little bit about milk because I think none of the panelists has covered that. सर पहले के जमाने में बहुत अच्छा दूध होता था. जैसे गाय सबकी घर में होती थी गांव में, तो क्या होता था कि बिकॉज घर की गाय है ऐसे निकालते थे और पिला देते थे. अभी वो रहा नहीं है कि सबके पास घर की गाय है. सो अभी मिल्क हैज बिकम एन इंडस्ट्री. द मिल्क हैज बिकम एन इंडस्ट्री एज इन मतलब lot of the cows which have been brought to India are Jersey cows. Okay, they are not Gir cows or Desi cows. So what happens because of that is कि वो जो गाय है, because हमको चाहिए कि वो ज्यादा दूध दे, उनको हार्मोन्स दिए जाते हैं, उनको केमिकल्स दिए जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से वो जल्दी प्रेग्नेंट बन जाती है और वो ज्यादा दूध निर्माण करती है. So this concept of milk becoming an industry is a problem. The problem is the hormones which are given to the cow. The problem is the chemicals which are being used, and the problem is the processing of milk which has happened. अभी ना दूध हम especially जो घर में थैली का दूध जाता है सर, it is, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not against any brand, but it is not pure. So we are actually consuming milk which is full of chemicals, which is full of pesticides, and which contains lot of phytogens which actually affect the estrogens. So hormonal issues, digestion issues, obesity, and all starts with these particular phytogens. So the problem over here is कि milk कितना pure है. So nobody puts an emphasis on that. So our ancestors used to have milk, लेकिन उनकी घर की गाय होती थी, वो निकाल के fresh पीते थे, जो कंसेप्ट अभी नहीं रहा है. तो अगर मुझे पेरेंट ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं कि डॉक्टर हम हमारे बच्चे को गाय का दूध देते, तो मैं बोलती हूँ अगर आपकी घर में गाय है तो आप दे. So then everybody laughs at it कि किसके घर में अभी गाय है. Obviously in small cities and villages it is still possible, but in cities अभी तो किसके पास घर की गाय होती है कि तुम घर का दूध निकाल के दे सकते हो. There is a lot of concept in urban city which has now come up, sir, of A2 milk. आपने सुना होगा इसके बारे में. So I would just like to put 1 or 2 lines on that, because what is A2? अभी जैसे बड़े बड़े घरों में, बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंग्स में A2 मिल्क पहुंचता है, which is 120 rupees a liter. कहने के लिए वो लोग बोल देते हैं ये प्योर है, लेकिन कौन चेक करने जाता है कि वो प्योर है कि नहीं है. So ultimately I tell most of the parents that please don't give animal milk to your child. There are a lot of alternatives to animal milk available. जैसे there is almond milk, बादाम जो हम खाते हैं, ड्राई फ्रूट. हम ड्राई फ्रूट का दूध, बादाम का दूध घर में निकाल सकते हैं, and it is, believe me, one of the very rich source of protein, since we were talking of protein in children. Also calcium. हम सोय मिल्क दे सकते हैं, बट सोय मिल्क भी बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में नहीं दे सकते. हम ओट्स मिल्क दे सकते हैं और हम कोकोनट मिल्क दे सकते हैं. सो दीज आर द ऑल्टरनेटिव्स आल्सो व्हिच आर अ पॉसिबिलिटी अगर हम एनिमल मिल्क नहीं चूज करते हैं तो. सो ये एक, जैसे मैम ने भी कहा और सर ने भी कहा, कि ये एक पर्सनल डिसीजन और पर्सनल चॉइस होता है. जैसे हमको लगता है कि नहीं, बच्चे को दूध देना ही चाहिए. जैसे अभी भी बहुत ऑफ मदर्स है जो सुबह 6 बजे बच्चा स्कूल के लिए जाता है, लेकिन वो ऐसे बड़ा ग्लास हाथ में पकड़ा देगा कि अभी तुम दूध पी के जाओ. सो व्हाट आयुर्वेदा सेज इज कि सबसे पहले सुबह उठ के दूध कभी नहीं पीना चाहिए, बिकॉज दूध में ऐसे एंजाइम्स है which actually reduces your digestion and it kills your hunger. मतलब you feel more fuller. So बच्चे की भूख मर गई, and then full day the baby doesn't want to eat food because the baby's stomach is full with that fats of the milk. So this is a big problem where I am seeing that जो सुबह बच्चे उठ के दूध पीते हैं, okay, वो बिल्कुल खाना नहीं खाते हैं, एंड देन मदर आके कंप्लेन करती है, डॉक्टर मेरा बच्चा खाना नहीं खाता, मैं इसको मुंह में ठूसती हूँ लेकिन वो फिर भी नहीं खाना खाता. ऑब्वियसली आप मुंह में क्यों ठूस रहे हो खाना? सो द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट आपने सबसे पहले उठ के उसके डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम्स को मार दिया दूध देके. So you are not supposed to give animal milk if at all you choose to give on an empty stomach. This is one very important message I would like to give you. खाली पेट पे दूध तो कभी नहीं देना चाहिए because वो आपके डाइजेशन को मार देता है. Now lot of parents also, जैसे आपने कहा कि बहुत ज्यादा दूध प्रेफर करना चाहते हैं तो बहुत ज्यादा दूध देते हैं, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि milk has lot of fats. जैसे डॉक्टर तिवारी ने कहा कि 3 main components of milk is, one is your lactose, second is your protein and third is your fat. तो उसका जो fat होता है वो फैट डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो पाता है, तो वो पेट में बैठ जाता है. द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन गेट्स फुल ऑफ द अनडाइजेस्टेड फैट व्हिच अनफॉर्चुनेटली कॉजेस कॉन्स्टिपेशन. एंड देन दिस चाइल्ड का पेट बड़ा हो जाता है, गैस होता है, ब्लोटिंग होता है, इंडाइजेशन होता है, एंड देन दिस चाइल्ड इज गोइंग टू कम विद कॉन्स्टिपेशन. सो if I in my practice of last 22 years, if I have seen maybe 100 cases of constipation, 95 times the reason of constipation is cow's milk. So there is such a high incidence of constipation which can be caused by the fat which is there in the cow's milk. So there has to be a balance. So if you ask me in a simple milk, अगर parent पूछेगा कि मैडम हम गाय का दूध देके नहीं, तो मैं बोलूंगी गाय का दूध गाय के बच्चे के लिए दो, माँ का दूध माँ के बच्चे को दो. Simple. और जैसे मैम ने कहा कि गुप्ता मैडम ने जैसे कहा, it is very important कि हम nutrition पे focus करें, and after 6 months you have to start complementary feeding. You don't have to wean the baby. There is a difference in the two. Complementary feeding का मतलब है हम वो खाना इंट्रोड्यूस करें जो माँ के दूध की क्वालिटीज को एनहांस करे. That means breastfeed has to continue till 2 years of age. उसके साथ हम nutritious food ऐड करते हैं. You add fruits, you add vegetables, you add soups, you add dry fruits, you add normal cereals, pulses. India is a country of diverse food culture. जैसे हमारे वहाँ आप देखो तो साउथ में राइस ज्यादा खाते हैं, नॉर्थ में पराठा ज्यादा खाते हैं. We have a different millets available. We have ragi. So there is a lot of grains which we have, lot of cereals and pulses which we have, which we give to the children. लेकिन पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं, दाल का पानी देंगे, चावल का पानी देंगे. अरे क्यों पानी देना है, प्रॉपर दाल दो. So you have to be training them well, that you take care of the nutrition of the child with other food items along with the mother's milk, and the mother's milk should continue till at least 2 years of age. But if you wish to give, suppose ऐसे शीरा बनाना है या तो कुछ porridge बनाना है, तो उसमें हम थोड़ा दूध डालते हैं. That much milk is not very difficult to digest. The problem is when the quantity of the milk increases. So here is a very important message, that I'm not saying that animal milk is good or bad, depending on the source and the city. So if you are getting pure milk, still you can give to your child, but there has to be a balance in how much to give. So from कहाँ से आप ला रहे हो, कितना आप दे रहे हो, और कौन से टाइम पे आप दे रहे हो, और उसके साथ आपका बच्चा कितना न्यूट्रिशियस खाना खा रहा है. जैसे दही है, छाछ है, they are very good things to give to your baby because they do work like a probiotic. लेकिन the problem of giving a probiotic is अगर वो gut में बैक्टीरिया ही नहीं है. Sir, everything, all of this starts from our digestion. So there is very beautiful research about gut microbiota which says that all the diseases starts from the gut. That means हमारा अगर जो gut है वो second brain है. अगर हमारा gut healthy है, अगर हम खाना डाइजेस्ट कर रहे हैं तो हम कुछ भी डाइजेस्ट कर सकते हैं. लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा कोई चीज देने से, वेदर इट इज एनिमल मिल्क, वेदर इट इज एक्सेस ऑफ प्रोटीन, वेदर इट इज एनीथिंग इन एक्सेस, कोई भी चीज अगर ज्यादा एक्सेस में जाती है तो क्या होता है, हमारा जो फ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया है गट में, दैट गेट्स किल्ड एंड द हार्मफुल बैक्टीरिया स्टार्ट्स ग्रोइंग. दैट इज वेयर लोगों का पेट बाहर आ जाता है, लोगों को इंडाइजेशन होता है, ब्लोटिंग होता है, इवन बेबीज फॉर दैट मैटर. सो when the gut is healthy, you don't get any diseases. And the problem with cow's milk is that it has a protein which starts the allergic reaction which is called CMPA, cow's milk protein allergy, जिसकी वजह से बच्चों में constipation होता है, wheezing होता है, allergy होता है, skin rash होता है, atopy होता है, eczema होता है, and also inflammatory bowel diseases. So these problems start because of the gut. So lot of Ayurvedic doctors and even otherwise, they say that your digestion decides what you digest. So I tell all parents that please focus on your child's digestion, and please focus whether your child is digesting the food that they are eating or not. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shah, for giving your views. And Dr. Shah is very clear that it is because of the guts problem. If you have no constipation, then the child will be healthy. And one has to understand that this cow milk is depositing the proteins there, and that's why the problem starts. So she is totally against. She wants the breastfeeding is to be done. She says that breastfeeding can be done even for the surrogacy cases also, and even because of the milk banking is there, where you can have the milk from the other if the mother cannot give for any reasons. And she says you can complement other things instead of cow milk, which is not advisable at all. And she has also mentioned that nowadays the milk is not pure because we are taking the milk from the Jersey cows and with giving injections, etc. So according to her, the safest thing is the breastfeeding. But after 6 months, as other panelist Dr. Gupta has also mentioned, she says that she agrees with her that we should add nutrients through the normal food, which in India is culturally very sound as far as the food is concerned. One can give anything so that the child will get all the minerals and proteins are required. Thank you very much, Dr. Shah, for giving your
Thank
views.
you, sir.
Now my second round is a question answer with paucity of time. So I will ask the questions. I want your small answers for that. Now my first question goes to Dr. Gamawar. Dr. Gamawar, right now we are talking like this, but go yesteryear, I'm talking of say 50, 60 years back. Although we were all
question answers for today. Ready, sir?
Sorry, please mute. Dr. Shah, please mute yourself. Dr. Shah, can you mute yourself, please? Okay. So, Dr. Gamawar,
yes, sir.
Under 50, 60 years back, we used to drink milk. We were forced to drink milk, and initially we were liking or not liking, but whenever, like one of the panelists say, whenever you go to a school, child has to drink the milk. Yes, we always drink the milk morning, evening. Yes, at that time the milk was totally pure from their own cow or from the nearby this thing. Is it because the milk used to be warm up in a big vessel made of iron at that time, so that the iron component which you all are discussing is lacking because we used to say कढ़ाई लोहे की कढ़ाई, तो आयरन की जो कढ़ाई होती थी उसमें हमारा दूध गर्म होता था. Even you might have seen in all the हलवाई की जो दुकानें होती थी वहाँ बड़ी बड़ी कढ़ाई होती थी, उनमें वो दूध करते थे और उस लोग बहुत दूध पीते थे. कभी भी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती थी. आजकल बच्चों में ये प्रॉब्लम्स आई हैं और आई थिंक दिस कंट्रोवर्सी स्टार्टेड फॉर लास्ट से 15-20 इयर्स. उससे पहले कभी भी दूध के ऊपर इतनी कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं थी और कहीं इतना. तो ऐसा क्या कारण है, आप उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए.
I feel, like today, milk is bad means bad. Whether is it today, yesterday, 60 year, अभी इसको देना है तो you modify and you force. So to me, anybody takes milk or give milk, it means they got psychiatric problem, and they are going to be psychiatric because today, I'd see I'm because those who want to modify a bad thing in any form to force other person to take, it means he want to put his thing on that fellow, and the person who is taking, he never want to have that that form, only modified form. Out of force he is taking. It means, this equilibrium, I don't know, I can't understand. And second thing, this milk, whether it is this city or this city, hardly matters. Whether it is pure, impure, or so many things are there. Milk is bad means fine. I mean, why a horse or any lion never take milk? When they want calcium, they also want protein. I mean, this is I'm so sorry. The panelists are very good. They got very good nutritionists, but I'm taking like milk. Those who are, I mean, I never seen. I'll tell you one thing. I've seen a lot of movies. A young new bride, she enter her husband's place and with a glass of milk. Now, husband, he never liked milk, but it's still his drink. It means the wife wants her husband to be strong. Her husband he never want milk, but still he has to take because he want to be strong for her wife, isn't it? No, it means, this is all, the milk itself is myth.
All are myths. That is back. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Gamawar. Okay. Now my question goes to Dr. Tiwari. Dr. Tiwari, India banned children milk products. And because of they wanted to promote the breastfeeding. But as you also mentioned, and we know there are many problems are there for the breastfeeding because of the mother disease and whatnot. And it is not easy for having the milk bank everywhere. So what you say that this step of our government is correct, whether we should ban the milk, children's milk products, or we should allow so that at least the supplement should go, or we should give, if the best feed is not there, try to give some formula. What you say about it?
The milk substitute production is not banned. Their promotion display is banned. Everything has its place in the society. The chemist cannot display it, doctor cannot promote it, and the companies producing milk substitutes cannot promote it to the doctors. It should not be a commodity product, it should be a medical product. If a doctor feels that in circumstances, in this situation, I have to supplement this to the child, he has to take a decision, and along with that decision, he has to communicate to the mother all pros and cons and educate her also, then also should be used. So production is not banned. This is the promotion and display which is banned. Okay. It is not a commodity product कि आपने दुकान पे रखा हुआ है, आपने देखा ये सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक की बॉटल रखी मैं पी लूं. केमिस्ट की दुकान पे डिस्प्ले नहीं होना चाहिए, अंदर होना चाहिए. डॉक्टर अगर फील करता है कि मुझे बताना है इसको, उसकी सर्कमस्टेंस को देखते हुए, तो प्रॉपर एजुकेशन के साथ बताना होगा. मरीज इसलिए चूज न करे दुकान पे दिखता है.
Even for the formula, doctor?
Naturally.
Okay.
First 6 months, we don't want to give anything else. If at all the child needs, and we feel that is needed, not the mother. The mother can come to us with the complaints. जब दूध कम है, या मुझे जॉब ज्वाइन करनी है, या मैं ये दवाई ले रही हूँ, या मैंने अडॉप्ट किया है. अब हम देखेंगे उस परिस्थिति में सबसे बढ़िया उस मदर के लिए क्या है, ऑप्टिमम क्या है. बेस्ट नहीं कह सकता मैं, ऑप्टिमम क्या है, और फिर उसके हिसाब से मदर को एजुकेट करना भी जरूरी है. This should be our decision. This should not be mother's decision.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. Now my question goes to Dr. Gupta. Dr. Gupta, when we are talking about the formula, in other countries like USA and others, they have no hesitation to telling that about the formula, and there is no such type of restriction what we are having in India, and everybody knows that everything is available on Amazon, on all the things. So just to say that we are banning it, don't you think it is better that we should educate the public instead of banning those things and tell them that this is a alternate thing is available as formula, but only when these are the circumstances when you cannot breastfeed. What do you say about this, Dr. Gupta? Please unmute.
So I would like to say over here, government has never banned these items. See, I would like to tell this. There is Indian IMS Act, that is Indian Milk Formula Substitute Substitute Act, right? And that says that any milk substitute, that is formula, if it's as Dr. Tiwari says, it's advertisement, it's unnecessary usage, advertisement and all. That is advertisement by chemist, advertisement by doctor, as well as advertisement by the company itself. It is totally illegal. And
but Dr. Gupta, just search on Google, just put it child baby supplements or the milk products. Immediately it will come all the things, Amazon, so much rate, you will buy this. So earlier it was,
these
but
are
now
two things. So Mr. Goel, I want to tell you over here. See, if something is, one product is there in the market, so they are going to sell it. For selling, it is available. But they should not advertise, like they should not hold events for promotion. They should not give any sort of, what should I say, these promotional
we can say like liquors are banned in India for advertisement, not for sale. Similarly, the child milk products are banned for advertisement, but sale is allowed.
Yeah, yes. It is there for this. But then we have to understand one thing. If we compare it between India and other countries, what is happening? Multiple things. One is that in India, what is happening? We have got a lot of disparity in our social strata. right? Suppose in a family, there is a domestic help who's coming.
Time is very short, yeah.
Yeah, a domestic help is coming and is watching you to see or watching you to feed your child with the formula, right? Maybe due to certain reason, there might have been different reason, but what that lady is thinking, because of their illiteracy, because of their poor education status, because of this social disparity, socio-economic disparity, they think that.
Okay, so according to you, it is because of the education level is down, the awareness is not there. So you want that it should not be misused rather, for those who are not understanding the complications.
No, here another thing is also there, Mr. Lal, that along with that the economical capacity of purchasing it. So what they are doing, they are giving their child, although they are breastfed, they feel that okay, this lady is giving, there are owners and whatever,
yeah.
And they are masters and they are using it, and it means that this is good for the child. So what they are doing, they are giving it after doing over dilution, despite the fact that this lady is producing enough of milk. So government doesn't want, we also as a pediatrician never want this kind of concept.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. Sorry, time is short. It's a topic we can discuss long. Now, my last question goes to Dr. Jinal. Dr. Jinal, pumping of breast milk, which is we have seen very common nowadays for the working mothers. Do you advocate for that? And if, then why not it has become a national movement, so that the problem which panelists have raised, that because they have to working, so there is a question of where the milk will be given. What you say about this pumping of breast milk?
Sir, I think technology has changed, and COVID has taught us Zoom meets like this, where all over India, all over world, people are listening to us. So I think even in breastfeeding, there are revolution which has happened, and I think the pump is one of them. So yes, there can be two factors which work very important for a mother to make more milk. One is her mind. If she decides in her mind that I want to exclusively breastfeed my baby, she can do it and she can produce more milk. And second is by helping her produce more milk. So by helping her, I mean is you either do hand expression. So there are a lot of videos available where we teach hand expression if they can't afford the breast pump, or using a pump. So buying a pump also is, sir, like using a mobile phone. You can buy from 2,000 rupees to 2 lakh of rupees. You can buy a pump. So there are lots of different pumps available which are very effective and which definitely help in stimulation of breast, and they can produce more milk. I have had mothers with pumping from 10 ml of expression. They've gone to 110 ml of expression also. So it is very much possible, but only thing is this awareness, as you said very correctly, that people are not promoting it. So I would say that rather than promoting a formula milk, see, if you do a one-time investment on a breast pump and you tell the mother to do power pumping and do a regular pumping, definitely she will make more milk, and then you don't need to spend on the formula. So that concept needs to be taught to mothers, and I think all the pediatricians should start doing it, because see, people feel that there is a myth here कि pump करने से breast दर्द होता है, pump करने से कुछ damage हो जाएगा. So there is nothing. If pump done in the right way, if the right flange is used, it is one of the most beautiful tool a mother can use to increase her milk supply.
Okay, thank you very much. So viewers, we have seen today, we have discussed a very, very important point, and all the top doctors, experts, they have given their views very, very clearly that the animal milk, whether it's a cow milk or goat milk, is not at all good for the children. There are ways, and the best thing is the breast milk, and there are ways how to increase the breast milk. And secondly, now the technology is there for pumping of breast milk, and supplements, food supplements. So the awareness is there to be required, and one has to be aware, because after all, if India has to become Vishwaguru, first we have to see the health of our children. If we are not producing healthy children, how we are going to be the Vishwaguru in real sense? And that's why this program, which I feel is very enlightening, although this topic is such that we can discuss for 2-3 hours. And I spoke to a very, very senior pediatrician from Mathura, Dr. B.C. Goel, and he told me very, very clearly that awareness is required. And if we will create the awareness properly, then definitely one can save and one can create awareness about the breastfeeding, the advantages and disadvantages of milk, which is still a myth. People still feel that the milk can make us very, very healthy, strong a child, but it is not that much which we can do in other supplements also. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Carunews, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, and Al Gyan, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor to bring to you every day new topic. And tomorrow our topic in the media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. is the screen time, boon or bane. And our panelists are Dr. Rukhsana Hassan. She is a renowned psychologist, trainer, coach, motivational speaker, and from Bangalore. And we have Ms. Parul Jindal, Director, Narayani International School, Member Advisory Forum, Aligarh Smart City, Aligarh. Dr. Rashi Agrawal, MD, Consultant, Psychiatrist, Meerut. And Ms. Khushbu Rewatkar, Executive Coach, Model Actor, Senior Vice President, 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Yuva, New Delhi. So please tune in tomorrow for our media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Gamawar. Thank you very much, Dr. Tiwari. Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. And thank you very much, Dr. Jinal, for giving your views. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. I'm sure today's show is very enlightening. Thank you all.